Coming up on Unpeeled, Verizon loses 67,000 TV subscribers.
Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson prepare for their palette launch.
Kanye West dropped both his album and film titled Jesus is King.
And I'm going to practice my Rocky Horror dance moves.
All that and more coming up on Unpeeled.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Syracuse Unpeeled. For today, Ron Burgundy.
And I am Veronica Corningstone, and as you can see, it is our Halloween episode of Unpeeled, and all of our reporters will be dressed in costumes as well, so stay tuned for that. And we start tonight out with some breaking news. The Getty fire is spreading to UCLA and neighborhoods with multi-million-dollar homes. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kate Beckinsale, and LeBron James are just a few of the stars forced to evacuate. Some major Hollywood events, including Schwarzenegger's latest movie premiere, were canceled because of this fire.
The fire is surrounding the Getty Museum, and according to representatives at the museum, the safest place for the art is actually inside. Thankfully, the art in the museum is not at risk because it is protected by fireproof technology.
Elsewhere, the American Music Award nominations have been released. Post Malone leads the way this year with 7 nominations. These include Artist of the Year and 2 nominations for the song Sunflower from the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack. Ariana Grande and first-time nominee Billie Eilish follow right behind him with 6 nominations of their own.
Hosting the event will be Tracy Ellis Ross, and fans will have the chance to vote for all their favorite artists in all the categories by searching AMA's Vote on Google. The voting closes on November 20th, and the AMCs will be airing live on ABC November 24th. So this is pretty big. Also, we talked about how Posey had 7 leading the way. Lil Nas X and Taylor Swift, they kind of go after him with 5, but Taylor Swift, she can make some history by surpassing Michael Jackson. If she wins 2 out of her 5 categories, she'll have the most all time.
Exactly. Fans are really excited for her, but also fans are pleased with the number of female nominees this year. Out of the 6 major categories, all of them are containing at least 2 female nominees. And a lot of people in the past, the Grammys, all the other big award shows, they have been criticized for their lack of diversity. So we'll see what is to come from this. And now only the question is, will females actually win this year?
Yeah, I think that'll be kind of a big determining factor. As we talk about inclusivity, is okay, they can be nominated, but kind of how do the winning ways get involved? And if they're winning, of course, that means they will be kind of more represented, and of course, more kind of inclusive and more inductive of how everything's going. And, of course, while musicians are getting recognitions for their work in that world, so are college athletes. The NCAA has voted to allow athletes to profit from the use of their name, image, and likeness. The NCAA Board of Governors voted unanimously to update its rules and provide athletes with an education while also allowing opportunities to make money. The change comes after the state of California passed a law that would allow college athletes to hire agents and get paid for endorsement deals.
In a formal statement, Board Chair Michael V. Drake says that the NCAA needs to change in order to better support its athletes. He also says that the organization can be more flexible and modern in its execution. This resolution comes as a victory for players who have pushed the NCAA to make changes to the ever-shifting climate of college athletics. All right, Chris, so I know you were really excited to talk about this story. A lot to unpack here. This comes only a month after California passed the law that would make it illegal for NCAA schools to prohibit college athletes from making money on their endorsements, autograph signings, social media ads, everything regarding that. Yeah,
I think that California law was the domino that would affect, and I thought it would actually take a little bit longer than just 1 month for that to happen, because that law is coming into effect in 2023, but now it doesn't say to follow that California law. And I mean, this is big. Drake said in that quote he wants to be a little bit more modern, evolving with the times, and it's finally happened for college athletes that have been fighting for this for a long time.
I know, but some are worried that this can open the door for corruption, if they're using sponsorship arrangements to make the playing field less fair for athletes during recruitment and things of that nature. But that also calls into question, will there be a cap on how much athletes can make, and how much, with these current laws, would they be able to make? I mean, right now it seems to be those details haven't been really sorted out, so the only time is yet to tell with that. Yeah, my thing is, someone like last year's Zion Williamson could make a great amount of money, but some other guys maybe not as much. And let's move to the film world. A galaxy far, far away might have 3 fewer movies on its upcoming release schedule.
Game of Thrones writers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss announced that they are stepping away from their upcoming Star Wars trilogy, which is expected to be released in 2022.
Benioff and Weiss are reportedly leaving Star Wars because of their new deal with Netflix. The creators told Deadline that while they still love Star Wars, they don't have the time needed to commit to Netflix while also making new Star Wars films. The duo signed a deal with Netflix worth around $200 million back in August. Now, what's interesting about this story is that some sources are actually saying the duo was fired from the project right after the Game of Thrones finale, even before their deal with Netflix. You know, this is in stark contrast to the statement they released themselves to Deadline, where they said, quote, "There are only so many hours in the day, and we felt we could not do justice to both Star Wars and our Netflix projects, so we are regretfully stepping away," end quote.
Yeah, you're right. Those sources are conflicting with those reports because time is their reasoning. They have that big deal with Netflix, $250 million on a multi-year deal. So I get that fact, but if it's actually true that they can't divide their time equally, we can take their word for it. But if they were let go before the Netflix contract, then that throws everything out of whack.
Exactly. You know, spectators believe that the backlash from the Game of Thrones finale and fans, you know, not being happy with the other Star Wars film also contributed to this decision to let them go. So only time will tell. I'm sure more information will come out about that.
Yeah, we'll definitely have updates here on Unpeeled. And coming up, Verizon lost almost 70,000 TV subscribers just over the last 3 months.
Find out why more people are making the switch from cable to streaming next on Unpeeled.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, Unpeelers. Industry giant Verizon reported a nearly 70,000 TV subscriber loss over the past 3 months. Meanwhile, TV providers have started to team up with streaming services in order to combat the hit cable TV has been taking. Reporter Liam Crowley is here to tell us what this means for the future of streaming. Liam, or should I say Iron Man?
Yes, the truth is, I am Iron Man. Yeah, big story today with Verizon and Streaming.
All right, so there's a decline. Is it due to the demanding launch of Disney Plus, or has it just been kind of a constant thing that's been happening over the past couple of months?
Yeah, so this has been pretty consistent over the past not only months but years. Verizon has reported 67,000 net paid TV subscriber loss in their third quarter. That compares to 63,000 they lost in the quarter of 2017. So this has been going on for quite a while. And 52,000 subscribers they lost in the second quarter of this year. So a downward trend consistently for Verizon, not looking too hot for them right now.
Yeah, that does not sound good at all. So what measures are these cable providers taking? I know I mentioned it a little bit, but can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, so the Disney Plus partnership, what's going on with that is essentially if you are a 4G LTE customer or you have unlimited data with Verizon, you get 12 months free of Disney Plus. Now, this is big because this is Verizon's internet and cell service, not their TV program. So they're kind of, having this if you can't beat them, join them type situation where, okay, we're going to strengthen our strengths. We're going to, offer 12 months free of Disney Plus if you're subscribed to our cell service as opposed to Verizon Fios, our TV service. And we've also seen this with AT&T. They recently announced a partnership with HBO Max that will go into effect in 2021. So we're going to see a lot more streaming services pairing with these telco companies to try and get subscribers paying for both.
Cable out, streaming services in. Now, you talked about the partnerships Who benefits from the most, though, from these partnerships?
I'm going to actually say the telco companies on this one, and that's because they're in dire straits when it comes to survival in this very digital and streaming world. The streaming services are taking over. We're going to see Disney Plus launch Tuesday, November 12th. And we're going to see they already partnered with Hulu and ESPN Plus. It's now in the point now where you need strategic alliances to really survive in this current digital age. So I think that the telco companies deciding they're going to partner with Disney Plus and Disney Plus partnering with Verizon and AT&T partnering with HBO Max, it's vital for their survival. And I think all in all, it's a very good decision.
Well, Tony Stark / Liam Crowley, thank you so much for joining us and being us to fill in. And while TV has been struggling, the internet has been blowing up. Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson's new makeup collection is almost available for purchase after months of anticipation. Dawson has teased the makeup palette for weeks in his YouTube series titled The Beautiful World of Jeffree Star. Unpeeled interim lifestyle reporter Carrie McEnany is here to tell us about the year-long process of making the palette and the drama that came with it. So Carrie, thanks so much for coming down. And who are you today? I see the Blake Bortles jersey. Yep.
Yes, I'm not Blake Bortles. I wish I was. I wish I knew anything about sports, honestly. But I'm Jason Mendoza from The Good Place, the hit TV show.
Blake Bortles.
Bortles! It's such a great show. I love it so much. But I'm here to talk about makeup, so I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to talk about this story, too. You know, I know Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, they're kind of controversial figures in the YouTube world. You know, are there any other kind of controversies right now surrounding this launch?
Yes, I'm going to be straight up honest with all of you guys. It's literally in the name. So this collection is called the Conspiracy Collection.
They're feeding off of it.
Oh, wow.
They're feeding off of it, definitely.
Can't beat them, join them.
Can't beat them, join them. Exactly. But they're definitely, Shane Dawson is embracing that brand of all that conspiracy video content that he puts out. But besides that, he has this pig lip palette and also the mini controversy palette, which is a smaller eyeshadow palette, which he is marketing out there. And some people aren't too happy about it because it seems like he's embracing that controversial history that he has and that Jeffree Star also has. But besides that, there is also some controversy in the beauty guru world, actually. I don't know if you know this, Sacchi. You might know this person very well. Tati Westbrook. Jeffree Star recently unfollowed her on Instagram, and some people are saying it's because of the recent release that she had with her beauty palette, which is on October 26th, and Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star's, which is on November 1st. So a lot of controversies, a lot of mini controversies and big controversies.
Sounds like it. But so the beauty palette's being hyped up in his video series. You know, should we take it seriously? Is it just another joke on Shane Dawson's part? You know,
do we trust
what should we believe here?
Honestly, I was incredibly skeptical of this. Many could say I could have a conspiracy about it. But this seems incredibly serious because Shane Dawson has been working on this for the past year now. He's talked with Jeffree Star about it in the previous series they did together. But all of the hype surrounding the entire series has led up to this makeup launch, which will be on November 1st. Again, I'm really excited to see what happens, but hey, Shane Dawson, maybe you have a future in the beauty world, or maybe you should just stick to YouTube videos. We're going to find that out pretty soon now.
Well, we'll see. And conspiracy, very fitting with our Halloween episode, so Friday we'll see how that palette launch does. But next on Unpeeled, Kanye dropped his long-anticipated album, Jesus is King.
Find out the inspiration behind Kanye's new sound, coming up on Unpeeled.
Drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Welcome back. Kanye West's long-awaited album, Jesus is King, finally dropped after several extended release dates. The gospel-style album features 11 songs running about 30 minutes long in total. Accompanying the music is also a new documentary film called Jesus is King. The film is also playing in IMAX theaters across the nation. 2 Kanye releases. We need 2 reporters for this one. We got music reporter Patrick Gunn and film reporter Andrew Goldberg. They're both here to take us and walk us through the double release. Guys, thanks for coming down. And
oh boy, Mr. Burgundy, do I have a scoop for you?
Love it. There's your costume.
Basically this is going to be a fun album to talk about.
Yeah, an album and a movie too. Here's
Absolutely.
Andrew Goldberg. What's the costume today for you?
Well, today I'm America's favorite stuntman, Cliff Booth. It's from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I figure if I'm the film reporter, may as well go as a character for my favorite movie of the year.
Very fitting.
All right, Pat, so you go first here. Give us your take. You're on the table. Let's hear it.
So I think that the album overall is all right. It's probably not the best thing that Kanye West has ever done. It's interesting. It's different than you'd expect from him. That's what I got to take about my take on the album.
I think that's the case too. And Andrew, what can we expect from the documentary?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the word documentary, and I think it is worth repeating that this isn't a traditional movie. It's mostly just footage from his concert, the Sunday service that he held during the summer, and it's kind of similar to Beyonce's film Homecoming on Netflix, which is mostly just footage of her concert. And Kanye himself mentioned that this isn't really for the entertainment value. He said in a quote, "We're here to spread the gospel, not entertain."
Okay.
Very interesting. So, for you, Pat, this album, it's definitely a new direction for Kanye, as you said, and fans had to wait so long for this album. And now that it's finally out, the wait is over. What is the response? How do people feel about this? Give us the scoop.
Well, it's kind of been a very mixed right now. As Andrew just said, it's for the gospel, not for the music. It's 27 minutes. It's honestly kind of a light Christian rock album in the side.
I like that take.
Maybe not the rock,
take.
but very, very light. And so far, response has been really mixed. I think a lot of people are like the gospel side of the album, which is probably the more interesting part, but the rap part kind of bogs it down a little bit. I think it's just people don't really think, a lot of people think that Kanye's losing his voice with the album. There's only really one really surefire supporter, and that's Donald Trump Jr., who took to Twitter saying the album that he really liked and thought it was a bold album. So he's got one supporter.
It was bold. I feel like he had enough bars, though, in this album. Like, a lot of people maybe thought it was a little bit softer. I think, though, he still kind of came with everything. I don't know. What do you think? I liked his rap specifically, I think, is still there.
The rap is still there. I thought that the cadence in this album was a little bit off. The Chick-fil-A references on
a little tough
on something. It's just, but I mean, I think it is an interesting to listen to, just for curiosity's sake, because you don't really see major artists do this kind of entirely faith-based, almost Christian-based, completely album.
Especially considering recent events, you know.
Exactly.
And I think that's maybe the problem.
Some people
have a problem with this because he's had some of those. His support for different things some people don't love, and then, of course, coming back a year later with the gospel album. But also, let's get back to the movie, Andrew. What are the numbers like? What's this doing like at the box office so far?
Well, in the first weekend, the debut, the movie racked up over $1 million at the box office. And for a traditional film, that might not sound so great right off the bat, but working on the mustache there.
Yeah.
But there are some factors that make this sound a little bit better than it is. On the one hand, it really only opened in 21 theaters worldwide, which is not a lot. I mean, Syracuse just got it this week. So when you look at that, you say limited release, IMAX only, $1 million isn't really so bad. Adding on to that, you don't really know what the budget is for this movie yet. It hasn't been released. But considering most of the footage is archival from Kanye's concerts and things of that nature, you got to think the production is pretty low. So $1 million, that covers most of the production budget. So Kanye should be feeling pretty good about this one.
Only 21 films. It's really not a ton. Right. And Pat, we talked about, there goes the mustache. It's gone for today. I'm just going to give up on that one.
There goes Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, but, I talked about the controversy Kanye's had a little bit before. How did people react? We talked about Donald Trump Jr.'s, but more, what's the overall kind of consensus take from the general public about movie and album? It's bold. Kanye's had a long discography, so he might be able to do this, but do you think he really pulled it off correctly in the music?
Well, I think the general consensus is a pretty big
Yeah,
it's just all over the place.
That's just kind of what I'm getting.
Yeah, it's very. I just said before, it's mixed. Some people really like the new direction Kanye's taking, the focusing more on his faith. Other people think he's losing his edge and don't think that this is really the real Kanye. So it's kind of just all over the place.
I think a lot of people are also kind of confused. Is this the direction he's going to go in, or is this a one-time thing?
That's a great question.
That's kind of where I think a lot of fans are at too. Is like, is this just you trying something out, or is this where we're actually going to be going? So I mean, only time can really tell with that one.
Yeah, well, hopefully, new album comes out, we'll kind of see the direction. Now, one last question for you,
Sure.
Andrew. We talked about how the numbers did so far, but what was the movie like? Was it like your hardcore documentary? Was it more of a, it's interesting, it's Kanye. We don't know what to expect, so what can we expect?
So Kanye's never really ventured into the movie atmosphere before. Typically we just know him for his music. It wasn't really hardcore documentary. It was more about the concert. He went into the Sunday service all throughout the summer, really trying to connect with communities and share his music and share his faith. And I think that was the driving purpose of the film, more about trying to spread the good word, if you will, and get his message out there. So it wasn't really about his story, as more about, I guess, the biblical and religious aspects of it.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thanks so much, Pat. 2 albums, well, an album and a movie, 2 reporters. Thanks for coming, guys. But next on Unpeeled, time to get up off your couch. We're going to do the time work.
Watch Chris embarrass himself even more than he already has tonight after the break.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Every Halloween night, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is screened in the theaters across the country. Unpeeled's pop culture reporter Katie Lane and, of course, our very own Chris Sacchi found out how Syracuse honors this Halloween tradition over at the Sky Barn Theater.
So they have the movie Rocky Horror Picture Show playing in the background, and they act out what's happening right in front of it, and there's a lot of audience interaction and shouting and lots of cool props and dancing and music. It's a lot of fun. Let's go check out what they're doing this year.
Let's see it. It's about to start.
Oh, it's so much fun. And I think it's the essential thing of it's not just a normal theater piece where we're performing something that you just sit and watch. We're performing part of the movie. You're also getting to participate in parts of the movie. You're getting to throw things at us, call us names, scream at us, dance with us, and we get to all participate as a community in this Shadowcast.
There's a part where I'm just working out, where it's just lifting people and push-ups, and then I just get to walk around aimlessly, and then someone has to drag me to another place.
Really, it's just an interactive environment we're trying to create. It's less about just, hey, watch us, that's it. Like every other show, it's more like with the crowd and with the audience itself, creating that actually creates the whole show. We just don't want them to just be watching. We want them to also be a part of it.
Wow, so that was a lot. That just looked like so much fun. I'm sad I didn't get to be there, but I heard that you guys actually got to learn the dance.
We did.
We sure did.
We did. How about we pull up a little reel of what we did on
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It was a rocky start. You'll see. Because Katie kind of already knew it too. Everyone else that was in, the dance group knew it, so they had it down in their head. I was observing to start, so you'll see. It takes me a little while to get going, but I think once we get into it at the end, we kind of killed it.
Yes, we did. We killed it.
I can't wait to see it.
All right, guys. So Manda, the dance captain here with Rocky Horror Picture Show, is going to teach us a little bit of moves from the Time Warp. All right, let's get started, Manda.
All right, so we're going to have you guys stage left, face center, and stage right, face center. So you'll be and the first move you do, it goes let's do the time warp again. You look on let's and you look forward on do. So it goes let's do the time warp again. Left, and your arms go up and they shimmy down. And then you step to the right, you go right in, freeze. Step to the right in, freeze. Tight, 2, 3, 4, knees. Yeah? You with me so far? You jump right, hands out. Let's do the time warp again. 2, 3, 4.
It's just a jump to the left.
That looked like so much fun. Sacchi, don't quit your day job.
Yeah, I'm not going to become a dancer after that.
I think you might want to stick to trying to be Ron Burgundy, but you couldn't even do that. Your mustache fell off.
Yep,
But Katie, tell us, what should viewers do if they want to check this show out?
Yeah, so the Black Box Players will be performing the show at the Skytop Theater on Thursday, October 31st, Halloween night at 11 p.m. on South Campus, the Skytop Theater on South Campus.
That's a lot of fun. So what was the process of learning this dance like? Obviously, I'm not a dancer, but...
neither am I. Obviously
clear,
not.
And
that
obviously
is clear
you're
as
not
day.
Either, but how long did that
be.
take? We only got to see a little snippet. Like, how long were you guys really there for learning this dance?
I mean, we saw it happen live on the show, which was important. They did a much more advanced version than we did.
Yeah, we got the dumbed down version.
Yeah, we did. I could not have
like
touched
the beginner
that.
version.
Yes. Like I couldn't actually do the real version, but we were only there. Like what you saw was kind of it. Like that was our first run through, and then we just went into it. I definitely think they were great people.
They really are so sweet, so sweet. What was your favorite part of watching that, Megan? I'm interested.
I think it was Sacchi. I just kept looking like you guys would be turning one way, he's still the other. He's like, oh, I gotta catch up.
I know. I loved he was just always like 5 seconds behind from everyone else. So
yes, no, of course. Yeah, you can please make fun of me as much as you want. Because part was they were all experts already, so for them it was just like something they do all the time. And you have seen the film before.
Yes, I have. Yeah. I can talk a little bit about that if you guys want.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's a pretty interesting show. Lots of interesting things happening. And with the Shadowcast, as the lady who plays Janet was saying, you get prop bags and you get to scream and yell at the audience and kind of act along and dance along. They want people getting up out of their seats dancing to the time warp. So rewatch that last part and know your moves.
No, I really like that the show is very interactive. It seems from what I saw, that the cast definitely was talented. What was your take on that? Their skill set and all of that, Tell us a little bit about that.
So this year they were trying something a little different. They asked people to come when they auditioned with a special skill.
Okay.
So we saw one girl that was roller skating. So she was just like roller skating around the entire place. Yeah. Lots of flips and running and crazy talents. I didn't see any juggling, but I'm sure there's juggling.
Oh, I'm sure there is. That sounds awesome.
Real quick, Katie, sorry, before you get on your costume, gotta
Rachel Green, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Oh, you certainly can. I'm getting a little sleepy after this. Yeah. After that, dancing,
after that
exhausting.
dancing.
Exhausting.
But that's all the time we have on Peelers. I am Meagan Reynolds, and thanks for stopping by.
Yep, and I'm Chris Sacchi. Have a happy Halloween. Stay classy, Syracuse.